Welcome to our Las Sendas Board candidate interviews. I'm Josh Croning. I've been a resident of Las Sendas since 2019, and I'm here with Pat Shafer.
Yep, Pat Shafer. I've been a resident since 2012.
Nice, very good.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live. Well, to start the interview, we've got a couple get to know you questions for Pat. And the first one is, where did you grow up?
I grew up in North Dakota.
Okay.
And I was in a family of 5 kids, which was small for North Dakota. It's a farming state, and most people had a lot of kids to help with farming operations.
Yep.
I didn't grow up on a farm.
Okay.
And what I've noticed in terms of similarities to here, I had to get used to this summer of intense heat.
Gosh, yeah.
And it was not unlike getting used to winters of extreme cold.
We moved here from Illinois, and I still don't know which I hate more, the extreme heat or the extreme cold. You know, they both have their pros and cons,
Yep.
But I don't know. You could always dress warmer. Summer, I just kind of stuck inside for a while, I guess, right?
Yep. Clothing has a lot to do with both.
Yeah, you need bigger closets in North Dakota, don't you?
Yeah, for those big puffy jackets.
Exactly. I know. I think I still have some tucked in a drawer, because sometimes we'll go up to Payson or Prescott or whatever for the snow.
Yep.
Otherwise, they get used once a year.
Right.
And it's hard to buy my kids new winter clothes when they get used once a year.
Right.
You know, but whatever. Next question, what drew you to Las Sendas?
My husband's parents were living here, and they were ill.
Okay.
One of them was an Alzheimer's patient, and the other one was caring for the spouse, and it just got to be too much, so we moved here to help.
Okay. Well, that was good for you, and then you stayed. You liked it so much you stayed.
Yep, we liked it.
Okay. Good. So the next 5 questions will be just questions about the actual board, being on the board, serving on the board. So the first one is, why do you want to serve on the board?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I've offered my service on the board because I care deeply about our community. Rod and I built our house here in 2012, and at that time we were the 3rd house in the enclave, and now there's only 3 lots left. So there's been a lot of development and expansion in our community, and we love it here. We appreciate the amenities, our neighbors. Our family and friends come and visit often. They think we're very fortunate, and so do we. And I just think that it's worthy of time and energy to make sure that our community maintains all the loveliness it has, all the amenities, the people, the safety, all those issues.
Great, I agree. Next question. How would your background and skills allow you to best support the community through your service on the board?
It's a good question as well. I bring strong organizational and leadership skills to a position on the board and many other boards that I've served on. I have an ability to analyze very complex issues, and my style for working out issues that not everyone can agree on is very collaborative. And so my expertise has proven valuable working with our CCMC staff when I served on the board back in 2019 to 2022, as well as I understand the committee structure and how important it is for the committees and the board to be working together and communicating and clearly identifying issues for our residents. I just want to state that committee structure, for people who don't realize, is pretty important. And the only paid staff here are the CCMC folks. There are dozens, but you're one of them, I know.
I'm on safety and security.
There are dozens of resident volunteers who serve on various committees that keep our Las Sendas vibrant. And without them, we wouldn't have what we have today. So it's important to know that they exist, but also how to work with them.
True. Okay. Third question. Serving on the board means balancing competing priorities and working through disagreements. Can you share an example from your past experience where you helped navigate differing opinions to reach a solution?
Yep. The example I've chosen is actually from my experience here in Las Sendas.
Okay.
So when you first get elected to the board, you're asked to serve as a liaison to one of our various committees, and I was asked to serve on the Custom Home Architectural Review Committee.
Sure.
Big long name. And it's not an area where I have any expertise to speak of, right?
Okay.
So I was really into learning to begin with. So early on, it appeared to me that there was something out of whack, so to speak. And so I was very diligent about listening carefully to comments from residents and committee members and so forth and so on.
Okay.
What bothered me was that 2 members of the committee were actually builders in our community. And they were not only reviewing and approving their own projects for residents, but they were also reviewing other builders who were building homes for residents. And it seemed to me a conflict of interest. So I listened for a good 9 months, I'm sure, and I made notes on those instances that I thought were worth the board's attention. I took those to the board and we discussed it. And 2 members stepped down from the committee at the board's request, and others chose not to participate. But that opened the way for a whole new committee of resident volunteers to step forward, and they put together a process that is clearly more ethical, doesn't have conflict of interest. There aren't builders on the committee anymore, things of that nature. But there are people on the committee who do have expertise in the building of new homes.
Good.
So it turned out to be a huge advantage in terms of fairness and equity for all residents who are building homes here.
Yeah, we want it fair for everyone.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, 4th question. Residents expect the board to make decisions that are in the best interest of the community. Residents also want more transparency, which means the board will need to have discussions in open sessions where some residents may disagree with the board's decision. How would you navigate a situation where the board believes a decision is in the best interest of the community, but some residents strongly disagree?
Well, in a community of nearly 10,000 people, it would be inevitable that opinions are going to vary. And actually, I think it's kind of a sign of a vibrant neighborhood, because if we all thought the same, you probably wouldn't have anything vibrant about that.
True.
But throughout my career, whether I've served on a lot of boards, and so anything from a statewide board that oversaw 11 colleges and universities to an organization that served 600 pharmacists. They were in hospitals and retail settings all over the state. And I was negotiating policies at the state and federal level that directly impacted their livelihoods. In all of those instances, you're going to have people on both sides of any issue. And so I don't know that it's necessarily a barrier to moving forward just because people disagree, but I think it's important that you lead with integrity. So the first thing I would suggest in those situations is that when we have strong disagreement, that the first thing we do moving forward is deal with each other with respect. And so I think it's important. Open meetings are great, but I don't think that that's the only thing we should think about. I think we should clearly communicate what we're doing, why we're doing it, make sure we listen to residents and understand their concerns, and then make sure that they feel confident that the decision we made was in the best interests of the community.
Great. Good. All right, last question. What goals should the association focus on over the next few years, and how would you help advance them?
Yeah, I think we have at least 3 issues that are clearly strategic priorities for just in the immediate future, the next few years. Maintaining our financial stability, protecting and enhancing our community assets, and then deepening our resident engagement. So first, financial stewardship is essential. I agree with the movement that the current board has in trying to move our reserve funds to 70%.
Yep.
I think that's critical. And I think we need to maintain that forward motion with whatever plan they've come up with. I'm sure they've been very diligent in trying to determine how that's going to happen over a period of years. We do have a maximum percentage that's allowed in our CC&Rs for annual assessment increases.
Yep.
So I'm sure they've taken that into consideration to get us back to 70%. The second issue, to proactively maintain and improve the assets we have. I think the assets we have are part of our life here. I think residents who live here because we have great amenities and things to do, trails, roads, tennis, baseball, soccer, whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? We have something for everybody, and I think we need to maintain that. And then finally, I would personally be committed to trying to strengthen the communication and the transparency. I think we currently have residents who feel a little left out of the loop, so to speak. And I'd like to help those folks get closer to understanding what's going on and trusting the board that decisions are being made on their behalf, but also on the betterment and the behalf of the entire community where they live, because they have 9,999 neighbors.
A lot of people here. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my hope. I think we can do that, and I think we can ask thoughtful questions and have considerate dialogue and move forward and have people on the same page.
Great. Well, Pat Shafer, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's great getting to know you, and these videos will be up in the next day or two.